Hey loves, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Faith, and today guys I'll be checking out Brett Cooper as she says the next Snow White is me. And you guys, I'm excited for this. If you're yet to subscribe to this channel, please consider subscribing, give this video a massive thumbs up, comment, share, and all that good stuff. And without much ado, let's see what this video is all about.
Welcome back to the comment section. I'm Brett Cooper. Last week was a very big week, objectively a huge week. We had quite a few announcements. I loved reading all of your comments across all social media platforms about all the announcements. But the first one we rolled out was Bentkey, which is Daily Wire's new company. It's a platform for kids entertainment. If you are an annual subscriber to Daily Wire, you already have access to Bentkey, so go download it and start watching it if you have kids. Starting this past weekend, we have officially brought back Saturday morning cartoons, which is so much fun. The content, guys, is truly amazing. I make a few cameos in some of the animated shows. There are over 100 episodes of different shows already on the platform. More are being released every single week. And in addition to just announcing Bentkey, we also announced Bentkey's first live-action film, which is Snow White and the Evil Queen. And that's me. I'm Snow White, which is so funny to say. Before we dive into this story, though, make sure that you like this video, subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and ring that notification bell so that you never miss a comment section or off the clock episode. You might have already seen the teaser trailer for Snow White and the Evil Queen, but before we dive into that, because I want to do a reaction and read some of the comments, I want you to see what Jeremy Boring had to say about the project first, because it gives a lot of important context.
Walt Disney embodied the American spirit of entrepreneurship and innovation. He risked everything to build his dream. One of his greatest risks and greatest achievements was Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Critics at the time called it Disney's folly. They were certain it would be a flop. It was 400% over budget, and it would have bankrupted the entire company if it didn't succeed. Everything you see today from Disney was made possible by Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. So there's no better example of Disney's disregard for their own heritage or their disregard for their own audience than their current remake of their own classic film. Unfortunately, the company Disney founded doesn't agree with their founder and visionary. They're remaking their own iconic film nearly 100 years later. They've decided to make some key changes. While Disney still uses Walt's name, they've all but abandoned his legacy. Instead of telling stories about timeless truth, what the ancient fairy tales were all about, Disney's new Snow White is an apology for their past and will expose children to the popular but destructive lies of the current moment.
And everything Jeremy just said, all of this is why Bentkey has decided to produce their own adaptation of this beloved Grimm's Brothers fairy tale, Snow White and the Evil Queen. So if you've not seen it already, here's the trailer, and then after we watch it, I'll give you some exclusive BTS stories. Okay, here we go. So cool, guys. Once upon a time, in time a prince would come. Once upon a time, but now that time is gone. It's so sick, y'all. It's so cool. I'm literally the one in that trailer, and I'm still like so excited, and I get chills.
There I am, Gary, there I am.
The whole thing is just so cool. The moment when the music starts to crescendo as I turn around, when I first heard the music, I was like, stop right there. That's just so amazing. Funnily enough, I recorded the song without hearing the rest of the trailer's score, so I had no idea what it would sound like. I had no idea what Jeremy and his team were envisioning, and he was actually writing the song and writing the music in between takes while he was directing Pendragon. And we were texting back and forth trying to figure out the right key and what it was going to sound like, and he was sending me messages like, I'm so sorry, I'm in the middle of, you know, a glacier valley in Italy, and my songs aren't going through, but we figured it out. We got the right key, we were on the same page, and then after I had already recorded it, he decided that he wanted to change one line in the song, so I had to go back and re-record a little bit of it, and that's when I actually heard the full score, all the orchestration, and my producer Reagan was sitting right next to me, and I think that we literally listened to just that, 30-second bit of music like 50 times, and both of us had chills. I was like, oh my god, it's literally a princess, this is literally a fairy tale, this is so crazy. We just could not get enough of it, and I truly could not believe that this was actually happening, and I think most people online were sharing the same sentiment because they could not decide whether this was real or some big joke. It's kind of like when Jeremy started Jeremy's Razors, but just like that, this is 100% real. And funnily enough, because of the way Jeremy presented this project to me, I feel like we are in the same boat that Disney and Walt Disney was in 100 years ago, because we are attempting something huge. We're going up against Disney. We have our critics, but we have passion and we have a mission in mind that is bigger than just this movie. And it might be crazy, but we are having a ton of fun and people are very excited. But all in all, the response online has been great and it has been so fun for me to watch personally. The whole team has been loving it. I want to share this TikTok in particular because it made me laugh.
The Daily Wire's making a live-action Snow White movie starring conservative YouTuber Brett Cooper. Now, obviously, we know the Daily Wire. We saw Gina Carano's movie got put on their specific streaming service and all that stuff. I was not expecting this announcement. At least Brett Cooper looks like Snow White in this promo, whereas you can't really say the same thing about Rachel Zegler.
Really
the one
does.
thing if Snow White turned around and put a MAGA hat on or some bullshit, that's not, people don't want propaganda on the other side. They just want propaganda-free entertainment.
It's Hollywood, baby. And that really is the main point. We're not trying to turn Snow White into something that it's not. We're not trying to turn Snow White into a MAGA conservative movie. We're just trying to represent the values that Snow White is based in, the timeless values that we all loved growing up that are sadly being forgotten in this new adaptation. I also don't know who is more excited, this guy or me, because the way he was bouncing in that video was absolutely insane. But somebody said, who's playing Snow White, Ben or Brett? I can't even tell. Never heard that joke before. That's really clever. Never heard it before. I saw comments of people asking if the entire movie was just going to be a Ben Shapiro deepfake. Like, come on, guys. Ben and I did a video together. We've killed those rumors. We've moved on.
That's what they want you to think.
Somebody else said, get it, Daily Wire. Disney is wild and too much. I don't think I've ever heard that term used before for Disney. It's wild and too much, but hey, something new every day. Also, just have to share this video because it cracked me up.
The Daily Wire's making a Snow White movie, and they're starring Brett Cooper as Snow White. I promised myself I wouldn't simp over her anymore. But how the f*** am I not supposed to simp when she literally becomes a f***ing princess? And at
fact that he's singing.
I see the light, and it's like the fog has lifted. That was from Rapunzel, because I don't know any Snow White songs, I'm sorry. We all know about the absolute dumpster fire that will be Disney's upcoming remake of Snow White with Rachel Zegler. But that's okay, it doesn't matter. Why? Because we have a brand new Snow White coming, and it's made by people that don't give a shit about being woke.
The fact that he's singing is just incredible. I'll hire you to play Prince Charming, sir. You've got a good voice. And yes, you're right. We don't give a crap about being woke. But more importantly, our creative team actually gives a crap about the source material. They want to tell the original story with the values and the themes that made the Grimm brothers fairy tale so famous and important to begin with. Values like love and kindness and friendship and inner beauty versus vanity and romance, for Pete's sake, because apparently that's missing in 2023. Weird.
No!
Also, speaking of the source material, many people were asking online, how did we get the license for it? Like, I thought that Disney owned the IP. And yes, Disney has made Snow White movies. They're making their second right now, but they did not make the original. They do not own Snow White. They did not write it themselves, so that is why we were able to make our own version. I also saw a lot of comments about my hair, weirdly. Somebody said it should be a fun movie, right? Except black hair? I don't know. Shouldn't she have blonde hair? Buddy, what Snow White did you grow up watching? I do not think it was any of the ones that I saw. Also, fun fact, we are actually having to darken my hair for Snow White, which is so funny to me because I've always considered my hair to be basically black, but it looks way too brown on camera once you have those harsh lights on it. So we are darkening it, which will be very fun, and you kind of get a taste of that in the teaser. Somebody else said the only thing I don't agree with is the long hair. Snow White's hair was short. Well, again, in Disney's animated film, her hair was short. But for the Grimm story, every illustration that you can find has her with long hair, which is actually more accurate for the time period, which is also something we are trying to stay in line with. I also thought that this video was super sweet and cute. Somebody on my team found this, and I loved it. I've always thought that if I did my journals like this, I might actually stick with journaling every day, but also then I think of like the detail that goes into it. I don't have the patience for that. But I love people who do, and it's so cute. And I'm very honored. Also, the fact that I think this girl made the video like the day after the trailer was released, you guys are fast, and I love that. The art came out real quick. It's so cute. I love it. I'm so excited. I'm so excited that you guys are excited. I'm pumped. I love it. These were all very positive, but I did have to go to Twitter, of course, to see the response as well. Of course, it was literal mayhem, especially once the Deadline and the Hollywood Reporter articles started coming out. But I did see these two tweets back to back, literally right next to each other, which cracked me up. One person said, Brett Cooper is Snow White, I'll bite. And then immediately after, Brett Cooper is Snow White, nope. You can't win them all. That's the thing, and I say this all the time about being online. Not everybody is going to like you. Not everybody is going to like what you're doing. You cannot make everybody happy. You cannot please everybody. And the moment that you let that go, especially if you are an online person or if you do anything in the public eye, the happier you will be. Because who cares? Not everybody's going to like it. And of course, as expected, there were a lot of very, very, very angry people about all of this. And many people were upset that I am a YouTuber that was cast in this, not an actor. Which, I mean, yes, I am a YouTuber now, but it's so funny to me because I've literally only been a YouTuber for a year and a half. Meanwhile, I was an actor for over a decade. So maybe people should actually be upset that I am a successful YouTuber instead because I've been doing that for less time. I don't know. Other people were just outright angry that we would even dare to challenge Disney in the new adaptation. But I really don't know why they need to be mad because they literally have their own Snow White to watch. If you don't want to watch ours, you have another one that will be coming out in the same year that you can go support and watch. Everybody has options, which seems like the perfect scenario.
Wow, you guys, that was such an interesting one with Brett Cooper. I really love the way she gave us the tea on this movie. And one thing I'm glad for is that the Daily Wire are really gonna bring back the value, the storyline of this movie that has been twisted, that has been remade, but this time around we're gonna get the full story, and kids will get the opportunity to enjoy this movie once again. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. I can't wait for this movie to be released, and I'm really looking forward to seeing it. Let me know what you guys think about the Daily Wire remaking Snow White. Do you stand for it or you are against it? Leave your thoughts in the comment section, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.